Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank y'all for joining the live stream today. Let me cue up my theme song. I always like to play it, man. I don't take this for granted. This guy really went in on this song, but we're going to have a fun live stream today just from the last video that I made. One of these days, you guys are going to listen to what I'm telling you.
The real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground. It's the real nitty-gritty. Boots on the ground.
Welcome again, everybody. Shout out to the NTZ crew for everything y'all do. I see Jacob Tanjay on here. I see Michael Beach of Life on here. Welcome to my viewers who will be watching this on replay. Any new viewers and subscribers, and also my regulars. I see you, Jeffrey Tatter, on here. Yeah. That's right. Nobody say squirt will be okay. I was even going to have to try to edit that one. But it is what it is, man. This is a grown adult channel. That's not what my channel is known for anyway. But he did ask us 10 times, can we talk, he says. But yeah, the title tonight is Beware of the NextPat and the STEALIPINA. I know y'all have heard about the expat, but you've never heard of the STEALIPINA. She's over here, guys. She's the flip side of that NextPat. When you don't take your girlfriend back to your country, you decide to stay here. Well, now you put your wife and girlfriend under the microscope, and everything that you experience from bringing her to your country, she experiences from you staying here. What's up, John? Maurice Holmes. Hey, Mo. I want to first start out the peso is 57.26. Still happy. You know Mo. Yeah, Mo. He'll be back pretty soon. Time goes by so fast because Mo was one of the first ones, if not the first person to come here to visit me, him and Mark. They came when the Philippines just about opened up. And look how long that's been. I think you left in April, Mo, if I'm not mistaken. What's up, Mitch? How's AEP going, man? I know you out there busting your butt because I'd be busy as hell around this time. Sunday, sometimes even on Sunday, I wouldn't take a break. I'll be calling people, believe it or not. Hey, Alpina R. That's Jason Flint. What's up, Tony? Yeah, still Alpina. That's funny. But here's what she is. I'm going to write it down. I wrote it down because I don't want to mess this up. She wants to steal you from your wife or girlfriend. She wants a guaranteed good thing. She don't want to go on a dating site and roll the dice. She already sees the good that you're doing. The way you changed the life of her friend or relative already. She already knows you got what she wants, see? She sees the Facebook posts of the good life. You know, and how well you're taking care of your woman. The house, the motorcycle, the car. She wants to steal you away. It's a fact, man. The first foreigner that I ever met in the Philippines, and we're friends to this day. He was going with a Filipino over here, sending her money, built, enough money to build her a house, and come to find out she had a boyfriend over here. Well, His wife now turned out to be a STEALIPINA. She started telling him everything that his girlfriend was doing because they're first cousins. You know, his girlfriend and his wife now. And she stole him from her. But they've been married like 16 or 17 years now. And man, he's giving her a great life. But at first, she was just standing by watching him spoil the cousin. And the minute she saw that crack to slide in there, she did it. And if you think I'm lying, man, it's over here, man. You know, and that's why I call her the STEALIPINA. Everybody knows what the damn NextPat is. We're going to talk about his slimy butt too. But I did want to say this before we go on. Maryland reminded me of something today. You know, prices go way up during the holiday season over here, especially at the marketplace. So a lot of you guys are coming over here in December and January. You're going to notice, man, a drastic jump, especially with the seafood. And it goes way up. And it'll come back down somewhere around mid-January. So I just want to kind of prepare you for that. So you don't think, oh, it's always this high in the Philippines. It's because of the holiday months. And some guy says, oh, Cal, you're just a celebrity over there. That's why the women are coming at you and blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. No, listen to this. You don't have to be a celebrity. Just be here long enough for her to see the good that you're doing, the progress. And she's coming, man. She's coming for you. I promise you that. Yeah. And Marilyn can tell you, she's got some friends who are STEALIPINAs. They've stole the man away with no shame in the game. But I've had a couple of people calling me, man, what's going on? You okay? Yeah. I use that title to let you know of the temptations that await you over here. See, some of you guys have never been to the Philippines before. And you're talking about, oh, well, if you got a good woman, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. You're not listening. Most of the women that we deal with over here are attractive enough. They're cooperative enough. They're submissive enough, but that's not enough, man, when you get hit from all sides with this parade of beautiful women day in and day out. See, I went through that in my earlier days. I can handle it now because I see it for what it is. You know, I'm not going to start over anymore. I decided I wasn't going to do that. But y'all talking about what you would do over there. Wait till you get over here and it's right in your face. And when I first came over here, and I'm going to tell you who put me up on the game. It was a Filipina. I told you when I first came over, I met a 41-year-old. I actually met a 38-year-old and a 41-year-old. I was 45. The 38-year-old, you know, we just didn't mix really. She liked me. I couldn't get into her. I gave her some money and, you know, she went back to the province. But the 41-year-old was a stunner. I mean, she shut the beach resort, Camboli Beach Resort, down. She put on a black polka dot bikini, man. I mean, shut her back down. But we were just sitting there on the beach, and she said, what are you doing with an older woman like me? Because I have no idea. She said, you know, most foreigners that come over here, they deal with young women. And I'm like, young women? Never crossed my mind to do it because I'm bringing my Western thinking over here. And from then on, man, it was on. Even when I came back and I met the 22-year-old that turned out to be 18, I was on that dating site over here in the Philippines, man. I was with 3 or 4 different women every week. I'm talking about every week until I went home. It was like shooting fish in a barrel, guys, you know. So I know what I'm talking about. So don't say what you're not going to do until you get here. We're not talking about taking advantage of anybody because that's subjective. Who's really being taken advantage of? You or her? Are you both using each other? That's what I think it is. we're not taking advantage of anybody. If anything, we're being taken advantage of. I love the child says, I haven't had the pleasure of meeting a STEALIPINA yet. You will. Keep coming back. Stay around here long enough. See? Mo says, I was there during the month of March. My Filipino was sleeping on the bench on the ferry. Wow. We're waiting for you when you get there. See, I told you, I said, your girlfriend traveled to see you. And I told you, Mo, I said, well, if she's there when you get there, you got to go. And she was there. And I'm glad things turned out the way that they did for you. See, 10 years ago, remember I told you a story about the 21-year-old girl? I mean, this woman's a stunner, man. You think I'm playing? 10 years ago, I'd have took her up on her offer. I'd be digging in her probably right now, But I learned my lesson. I know that it's just a different face, a different body. I'm going to have to start all over. Look at how much I done invested in my relationship over here. It's going to take more than that. But this is what happens even now, 13 years later. The Thrillipina is out there, man, and you're going to see her when she gets over here. That's why I caution you guys about making these big old commitments online. Because when you get over here, you're going to be like this. And you're going to see that a lot of these women, you're going to have access to them. And it's going to take, man, you don't have the discipline to turn that down. If you do, then, you may not be a all the way man, believe it or not. But yeah, all you guys talking about what you're going to do, what you would do over there. Yeah, if I had a good woman, how am I going to mess it up? That's easy for you to say. Oh, okay. Wesley said, gas is $3 a gallon. Well, wow, it went down. It's just staying pretty steady here. It's 63 and 64 for the gasoline that Maryland uses. Now, when I went to help, and this was last month, when I went to see that Belgian man in Santa Catalina, their regular gas was 77 and 78 where he lived. Yeah, she's the opposite of the NextPat. Because we think we're doing ourselves a favor by staying over here. And we'll say, don't take that woman back home. Keep your leverage. Well, you're not thinking about her because the tables are going to turn now. And then you're going to put the pressure on the Filipina. It's really not, if you love somebody, man, you really don't want, to do her any harm anyway, because it's too much temptation for even a Filipino to bear. That's why when you get over here, ask my buddy Franz, ask some of these guys who got girlfriends over here, how closely tight they own you like white on rice, man, because they know what's over here more than you know. You can be in denial you want. They know what's going on. I promise you that. But y'all want to act like I don't know what I'm talking about. Just slide up underneath you. It's usually somebody that she knows or somebody in the family who's in close proximity and watching your progress. You don't think that if somebody had something on Marilyn, which Marilyn's, her character is so good, that they wouldn't tell me and say, hey, Marilyn's fooling around with that instructor over there to the gym. They would have told me by now. Mo said, I was there during March. We were on the ferry on our way to visit you when a Filipino was strutting our stuff while my Filipino was sleeping beside me. Yeah. See, Mo can bear witness to what I'm saying. But you guys who've never been over here before, I'll say he's full of it. He's making that stuff up. And this isn't Las Vegas, in Los Angeles. Jay Brad says, if she was doing him wrong, sounds like the cousin rescued him instead of stealing him from a good woman. Well, that's subjective. It's none of her business, though, what they're doing. She saw the opportunity because this guy, he's rich. Okay, she saw her opportunity because when do you tell? Where along the line, Jabras, does she tell what the cousin's doing? Why wait until he's already so many millions of pesos in the red before she all of a sudden decides, oh, okay, you know what, she's fooling you. Maybe after the cousin says, hey, I'm not giving you anything else or whatever it is. It's hard to say, but, you know, he's lucky, though, that he did. Robert Stanford said, them STEALIPINAs are bold. But Monica wasn't having it. Yeah, you told me a story. He said he was at the mall with his girl, and they bold. They came up to him, but he said his woman pushed her to the ground. I sent you the link, brother, and you didn't come on the other day. Yeah, the prize catchers. They're no different than the NextPat, though. You know, she doesn't want to go on the dating site, guys. It's rolling the dice. Because she knows everything on there is not good. It's a lot of us tricksters on there. And guys, you know, they really, what I want to say, flexing more than anything. They flex pats. They talk a lot of stuff and, you know, showing a lot of stuff, but they really ain't going to do anything. She knows that, but she's seeing what you're doing. You built the house, you bought the car, the motorcycle, the flashy lifestyle, the trip to Boracay and all of that. She's looking at the Facebook post. So she's coming for you. John Gomez said, true story. 1989 in English City, my friend and I were going to get lunch. 3 Filipinos yelling to us from a house. She said, come here, free BJ. We said, maybe another time. John Gomez, wow, that sounds like heaven. That's tempting. I bet it is tempting. But it's true. My vlog today was about the Thrillipina. She's not trying to steal you. If she does, she doesn't really know. A lot of times they don't even know you have a woman. She's just out there minding her own business. And you happen to meet her on the dating site at the bus terminal. Because they're here, man. It's a bunch of them. And they run in packs. And it's nothing like you've ever experienced in the West. You get on those dating sites when you come to the Philippines, if you're single and you're not looking for a relationship, man, you're going to have a ball. You'll see. And then you'll come back and say, oh, man, he was right. W Secret Success says that title, Am I Leaving Maryland for a Younger Woman, will help to feed your trolls with new content for at least a week or so. Yeah. Well, everything I do gives them content. I don't give a damn. They should come up with their own content. They're watching my live right now. They watch every live that I do. They're my biggest fans. Maurice Holmes said, hit the like button. Yeah. Yeah, Michael Beats the Light. It's perfect right here. He said we all got plans until we get there. And he knows me and him had a discussion. I think reality set in with him. He got ants in his pants. You know, y'all don't know what's waiting over here, man. But the people who are over here can tell you that I'm not lying. Why would I hustle you? Why would I tell you something that you could easily get on a plane and come over here and see and be like, no, he's lying. Maybe I need to go back and look at all the rest of his videos. Maybe he's lying, but you're not going to be able to do that. If you come over here and just a decent human being, you're going to see that Thrillipina out there. when I first found out, like I said, that lady told me, oh man, it was like picking up apples out the ground. I was full, man. And I was enjoying myself. And nobody was getting hurt. You know, when you with me, if I'm in Boracay, you in Boracay. If I'm in Panglao Bahia, you there. If I'm staying at the Henan Resort, you're staying with me. But I had a string of them, man, until I figured out, the culture over here is thick. And I sold my oats, basically what I did. I got it out of my system because that's the only thing that's going to help you. There's nothing worse than being over here trapped in a relationship that you're not really happy. Because you know what's out there, but you can't get out there because she got you bound up in the damn condominium like a hostage. And the minute she lets you go, man, you're going to go crazy. Yeah, you're right about this. You know, you say this a lot. It took a lot of time over here and a lot of experience for me to even know what a good Filipino was, to be honest with you. I know now. If I throw her back, what do I expect to get in return? Will she be younger? Probably. But will we get along? Will she understand me? We've been together, me and Merle, for 3.5 years, man. That's a long time over here with a Filipina and a foreigner. We, sparred and we went back and forth. We know each other about as good as we're going to know each other. Why would I want to start over from scratch in this crazy game over here? I wouldn't want to do it. But it happens sometimes, man. Sometimes the temptation is so strong that you can't fight it, man. The woman is so nice looking. It's like something out of a dream. And it plays right to your manly instincts. I don't care how attractive your woman is, how cooperative she is, how submissive she is. It's not going to be enough. And you're going to try to play both of them. That's what got me in trouble. It really didn't get me in trouble. That's when I found out what the Filipina was. I was with my son's mother, man. She's beautiful. She don't have no enemies. Everywhere she goes, people gravitate toward her. She's like a magnet. She was everything that a man would want. But when I knew I could reach out there and grab somebody else early in my career over here in the Philippines, I did it. I reached out there and I grabbed my wife. And I was just going back and forth. They didn't care. Well, they cared, but there wasn't nothing they could do about it. I spent 2 months here, then 2 months here, back like that. And they were okay with it. It was only when I got married did my wife have a problem with it. She didn't have a problem with it when we wasn't married. Because I was taking care of both of them. I had that kind of money and everything at that time. Ray Lewis said she blew me a kiss in a restaurant while my girl was sitting beside me looking. Yeah. But looking right in her eyes. Yeah, but people think that, oh, we can play this game all day, Mike. You know me, man. My imagination will run away. But yeah, it's just flex packs. You know those guys. They come over here flexing. They ain't got 2 nickels to rub together. But they got the Filipina thinking that they got businesses back at home and everything like that. She's already up on that game already. She don't want that. She doesn't want the Filipina doesn't want to roll the dice. She wants the guaranteed thing. She knows you good. She knows what you got. She knows you got the good life. Hey, Luis Martinez said, yo, what's up, Cal? Did you check on that Solanea condo? If you need to, I can send you the listing in Airbnb. The guy whose apartment I rented, condo I was renting, he's an American. And it's super clean. I forget how much, but prices are going up now, guys, for some reason, because I think it's 38. I don't know if it's different. I can't remember what I paid. I don't know if I paid. I don't think I paid $38, but it's $38 an hour, which is still a great deal for what that place has to offer. You're right across the street from Ayala Mall. His place is new. It's modern and super clean. He's got everything in there already. Coffee, creamer. He's got everything in there. And then you got that swimming pool, the weight room. It's worth $38 because that's really like I'm going to give it 3.5 stars, really, if you're going to compare it with a hotel. For $38 a night, you can't beat that. Hey, Jill, Paul says, I unsubscribed from that guy Mixed Journey. He's too messy, toxic. And, that's the right thing to do if you don't agree with somebody. Don't troll them. Just unsubscribe them. Just keep scrolling. You don't have to make a 10-minute video about somebody. Butch the one said, how did you know she was the one for you? Well, after you've been dealing with Philippines, first of all, you wait till the dust settles. It takes a little while. And when you don't see the Earls coming, Maryland doesn't have any enemies. When when everything you're looking for, there's no red flags there. And you figure like, okay, I can deal with this. There's no arguing, there's no fighting, and we get along. See, what's important over here is that you can get along with the woman, because there's so many other differences you got to deal with. But at least we can get along. We're not arguing, we're not fighting. We basically like the same things. We got, we're more compatible than not. Thanks, Ernest. RC and Jackson. What's up, Cal? In Palawan at the farm for a few weeks. Damn, this rain. I went to Bacolod yesterday. It was raining. Maryland said it was raining here. Remember, guys, they're expecting 2 typhoons to make landfall in the Philippines by the end of this month. Now, tomorrow's the 21st, and they're usually right about stuff like that. That's why we're waiting to go up in Luzon in December. That's right. It's exactly right. He said the spirit may be willing, but the flesh is weak. The people who've never been over here, they have no idea what I'm talking about. Some of these women over here, man, if you like Asian women, some of the most beautiful Asian women on the planet are here in the Philippines. Let's just be honest about that. The Filipino is mixed with everything. African, Polynesian, Asian, Malaysian, European. It's a mix, man, that a lot of us, you can't handle. Diesel 2 said, nah, I just want some woman that won't spend my money and wants to have sex. Both of us have to throw in the kitty pot. Well, if she don't have nothing to throw in the kitty pot, come on, well, you don't want to come over here. And you're not spending a lot of money anyway. I mean, you can't get something for nothing. Rich Runaway Slave says, I guess we are evolving as men. I'm 43 and I don't let my penis control my life. Well, see, you have to realize this is the biggest sex organ you got. It's not your penis. Yeah, life is more than what you can thrust into. Yeah, it's about being a decent person too. Yeah, absolutely. But if you're a man, if you're a real man, why would you want to fight that anyway? We're not talking about taking advantage of anybody. You guys are trying to be too, man, I don't believe you live that way all the time. I just don't believe it. If women aren't turning you on, yeah, you got to have some discipline. It doesn't mean that's what keeps us from going out and raping people, being decent human beings. But when you have 2 consenting adults I mean, what in the world are you going to do? What you got? What? If you want to wait till you get married and all that old stuff, then that's on you. Everybody's different, but come on. Okay, Luis Martinez says, yeah, sure, I'll take that list. Okay, I'm going to send it to you, the listing on the Patreon, because Luis Martinez, he's a long-time supporter, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. But whether it's the Thrillipina or the STEALIPINA, when you get over here, and like I said, y'all can preach that stuff from way over there. Let me throw that 21-year-old on you and see what you're talking about then. You babbling, you hiding now, you don't want to tell us really what's going on. Okay, I've been where you are before. We're in Negros Occidental. Hey, what's up, Trinidad? We're going to be there. Let's see, Sydney's coming this month. So we'll be there probably first week of December. Hey, Anthony Thomas, thanks for that super chat. Said, thanks, Cal. I'm considering splitting time between Thailand and the Philippines. That's a great plan. You can get the best of both worlds. I like the laid back lifestyle of the Philippines, and then I like that hustle bustle that Thailand has to offer. That modernity, you know, it's modern over there. Yeah, you're right, brother. That's what I was talking about in my video yesterday. When you get that, we're not talking about compulsion, though. We're just talking about being men. I don't want to be controlled. I don't want to control anybody. Go back and watch my video yesterday. That's what I was talking about. We don't want to be controlled by that or anything, drugs or anything like that. We're just saying, I'm just saying on my vlog today that when you get over here, you're going to be tempted more than you've ever been tempted at home and more than you've probably ever been tempted in your life. And it's going to take a while for you to get a hold of that, get a grasp of that. Because self-discipline is something totally different than discipline. We can do anything when somebody got their foot on your neck, but when you're the one who has to be in control of yourself, it's a different ball game then. Hey, never too late. Thanks for the super chat. Says, stay strong. Been with my wife 10 years and still hard every time I go. That's right. We're just being honest. Never too late. Thanks for saying that. We're not saying that you have to give in. We're saying that the temptation is going to be there, guys. I didn't give in. 10 years ago, I would have. I would have given in, but I didn't. And I don't care how much you love your woman, man. Like I said, if she's attractive enough, cooperative enough, submissive enough, it's not going to be enough when you see these women over here, some of them. You're going to be thinking in your mind, what would that be like? It's just so many of them. That's what it is. And it's such a different mix and such a different vibe. And for a man, a real man, that's a lot to swallow, man. I'm sorry. He said, let the Holy Spirit guide you. Where's the Holy Spirit when I really need him? I've been calling you. I'll be in the crack house smoking. Please, God, take the pipe out of my mouth. It don't happen, man. I got to do something at some point. Hey, Rom Omega Zone said, doesn't make any sense to travel 5,000 miles for a woman and last only 5 seconds in bed. After sending 10,000, 5 seconds in bed is a no-no. Train your man to last longer before you travel. Yeah, that's easier said than done, too. Hey, L to the G said, enjoy the discussion. I just like to talk about real life stuff that's really going to be confronting you over here. There's many channels on here for travel and information and all of that. What's really going to happen when the rubber hits the road and you get over here to the Philippines? Let's be honest about it. I didn't invent it. When you get off that plane, Everything's already been set up for you already. I came over here, I knew nothing about the Philippines, and it was all waiting for me. I just want to let you know that, if you come over here for the first time in a committed relationship, it's going to be hard to keep that together. It's going to be difficult, if not almost impossible, for you to stay with that one woman, man, unless, she got you chained up somewhere. Because why have one if you can have three? And that's the way I had a woman over here one time, and she was nice, but, I just met her at a time when she had just lost her daughter to dengue. Man, she looked almost exactly like, what's the lady that's the singer? I can't think of her name now. It just slipped my mind. I'll think about it. I'll let it come back. John Gomez said it is difficult. If you see a sure thing in front of you, that's right. But see, these guys are doing this hypothetical stuff. They haven't seen the real deal yet. Hey, what's up, Freddie C? So what's up from Cebu? Is the temptation there, Freddie? What's up, traveling with Maylene? Is that her name? Marlene? Said hello from Thailand. Best regards from Marlon and Willie B. Thank you. See, R68 DVR, he just left here. But they don't have to listen to me. See, Trinidad, now he's right there in the center. He lives in that place I was just telling you about. He's down there right in the middle of all that. And he'll tell you that the temptation is real. I'm almost sure he's got a woman. Imagine this. He's got his 20-year-old son with him over here. So he's probably like Mick Jagger, the son is. If Trinidad is Keith Richards, his son is certainly Mick Jagger. But see, these are guys who are living here. He lives here. And he said, yeah, the temptation is real. A lot realer than at home, because in your mind, you don't have anything coming with these women. But over here, you got a chance. That's the only reason I put the Philippines above Brazil. Brazil is still a whole lot of fantasy going on over there. They'll still stop you in your tracks there and in Colombia. Here you have more of a realistic chance of being with the woman. It's just the way the Filipina is. She's approachable. She's nice. She almost feels as if she doesn't want to turn you down. She's too nice. They feel bad that, I've got somebody already. But they're not going to beat you over the head when you try to say something to them and embarrass you and all of that. AC King says, I'm not fooling myself. I know I'm subject to temptation. Every man has a woman out there who's going to be kryptonite to him, and he's not going to be able to resist. It can happen to anybody. That's right. And you're only as tempted as your options, right? Because I remember when I was married to my American wife, I used to always say, I've never fooled around on my wife, because hell, I didn't have really any other options. If me and her were married and living over here, it would have been a different story. It would have been a different story every night. Yeah, but see, that doesn't matter. All the women, I've never had a moose over here or a goose. All the women I've had over here have been attractive enough, cooperative enough, and submissive enough. But that just wasn't enough when I was over here trying to sow my oats, trying to get that out of my system. One was never enough. No, one is too many, 1,000 is never enough. Whatever it was, that's the situation I found myself in. I was obsessed. Trust me, I was on that dating site, man. I'd go to Robinson Mall and Fuentes Circle. They had a little, I don't know if it's still there. They had a little restaurant, internet cafe. You just sit there, man. You have your own privacy. and you get on cebuans.com or whatever, and you meet the girl at the mall. And then next thing you know, you're in the hotel or whatever it is, maybe the next day. But it never went past the first day for me. It's like they're willing. I've never had that before. It's hard to resist that. Hey, YouTube experience, thank you. We're not talking about mistreating anybody, anything like that, guys. I'm just telling you, we're talking about reality. That's all I'm saying. I didn't know all this was over here. All I knew was the stories the servicemen used to tell us. I was on the USS John F. Kennedy, an aircraft carrier. And every day we'd get somebody new. A lot of people were coming from the West Coast after making a WestPac. And they would talk to you about the Philippines and stuff. That's all I was going on. I'd never been here before. I worked with Filipinos on the ship because I was a cook, even though I didn't cook. And half the staff was Filipinos. And they would invite me over here, and they would get food sent to the ship. We'd eat and all of that. But I never came. I got out in 85. I didn't come here until 2009. So what was that? 24 years or something? It took me to finally make it over here. But when I did, man, Clarence Wilkerson said, "What's up, Big Cal? You're right on point. It's up to you to do that." And I see a lot of beautiful women here, but I got that out of my system. And me and my wife been together for 12 years now. Thank you, Clarence. And that's all I'm saying. I gave you the problem, but I gave you the solution. The solution is to go ahead and get it out of your system if you want a committed relationship over here. Otherwise, you're going to have to take her back to your own country and put up with the risk there. So it's up to you. But if you're going to stay over here with her, that's one of the difficulties of being in a committed relationship in the Philippines. The temptation. It's always going to be there. Get it out of your system and go on with your life. If you don't get it out of your system, it's always going to be a problem. Hey, Earl Rich says, you said it right, because the thought of being around a lot of beautiful, submissive women scares me. Yeah, it's like putting a crackhead in a room full of crack. What do you think he's going to do? He's going to smoke probably till he have a heart attack, a stroke, or die. Somebody come and rescue his ass out of there. Oh, wow. He said, Ronald Senior Bobo says, hey, Cal, just received my passport. Hey, welcome, man, to the club. I don't know if you're going to be on. I guess we all start our passport bro. And you look at somebody like Maryland, and you think you're going to come over here and be like, oh, you got a woman already, but you see Maryland, and she's like, come on, baby, give it to me. Let me show him that. You're only kidding yourself. But yeah, man, congratulations. Get out here and see some places. Yeah. The old Tomasa, Theo Tomasa says, all newbies need to bring some dark shades. I gave you those instructions on some of my first videos. You're going to need a pair of good sunglasses over here. Not only for the sun, but just to keep from getting your head slapped. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're submissive. Some are far as hell. But it's usually not enough because we get greedy. Once you have one, man, it's like, what is it, Lay's? Remember that commercial about Lay's? You can't eat just one. What's up, Manila Thriller? He said, what's up from the U.S.? Okay, he says, hey, Calvin. I guess he's calling me Calvin. Maybe he's talking to somebody else. He said, what you think about Dumageddon or Bahal? I like both of them. Dumagetti, I like. Dumagetti's modern enough, and it's in close proximity to a lot of places. I love that boulevard. It's only a 35-minute ferry ride from Siquijor Island, hour and a half from Panglao Bahal. Well, no, Tagbilaran Bahal. Then you ride the tricycle to Bahal. 4 hours from Cebu City, rather, not the island of Cebu. Is really close. He said, trying to find a good woman because I've already been to Manila 8 years ago. I want somebody to lay back and be honest and true. Well, they're all over. Life just slows down a lot outside of Manila. Manila's like being in Chicago or LA or somewhere like that. Now, see, Clarence has been with his woman for 12 years. He said, you have to work hard. And if that's not out of your system, then you're going to have a hard time over here. And we live in Tarlac City, and there are some diamonds here. You're always going to be confronted with it. I don't care how much you love your woman. You got to it's going to be on you, the man, to get it out of your system because they're going to be right there in front of you. So if you can't handle it, you're not going to be able to have a committed relationship over here. Because the Filipina's already thinking there's always another woman because she knows what's over here. She knows how things are set up over here. You didn't have nothing to do with it. So she's going to try to stick to you, man, like glue. She's going to be on you like white on rice. As some of my buddies over here that are with women, man, they got them. These women are holding these men hostage over here. Freddie C says, I followed your advice and came over single, and I'm glad that I did. I would have messed up picking a woman without walking through the store. Calvin speaks the truth. Thank you, brother. I'm just giving my experience over here. And, man, I tell you what, if you come over here and see, we've already committed. Filipino wants that commitment on land. She wants it before you come over here. So you're already committed. You get over here. She's everything to you, but it's not going to be enough, especially your first time over here because you're just a man. The minute you go to the beach, the minute you go to the mall, the minute you go somewhere, you're going to see 10 of them, 10 more of them. And people are looking at me like, oh, that's shallow. No, it's not. It's not. Man, we've been beat to a pulp in America. So when you come over here and they're going to treat your wounds. America's like being out in the boxing ring. The Philippines is like your corner when the bell rings and you go back to your corner. That's what it's like coming over here from America. I can't speak for any other places. In America, you out there, you boxing, you fighting, you giving everything you got. Then you get over here, it's like, okay, they give you water, they encouraging you, getting you ready to go back out there and fight again for the people who go back. But I wasn't stupid enough to go back this time. I said, no, I'm staying in the corner. I've had enough of Mike Tyson kicking my behind. That's a fact. Superstar Jones said, Cal, what happened to Osiris transitioning who came on your channel? I don't know. He's supposed to have been coming back in September. He may have come over here. He may just be on the down low. I haven't heard from him. He had a good start over here. He had some really good content. Yeah, I don't know what that is, Hybrid 711. People don't like to just hit the like button, man. But see, a lot of them are haters, man. They just sitting back trying to see if I'm going to say something wrong. Because the like button is free. Neil Ocean says, hello, Calvin. I've been raising my son on my own for the last 10 years. Planning a trip over there this coming summer when he goes to spend a few weeks with his grandparents. It will be fun to shake your hand. Oh, man. Come on, man. It'd be a pleasure to meet you. I'm meeting a guy today, David. I consider him a friend now. He's staying at Doug's place, a small fry beach resort, about 10, 12 minutes from here, and he's coming after the live stream. I'm gonna meet him at Malwani. Maybe we'll have lunch there if he's still hungry. If not, we'll walk around Center Mall and come over here. I'll show him the house and the guest house. Yeah, man, it would be a pleasure to meet you, man. Clyde Thompson said, "What's up, Cal? I'm a Navy veteran from Texas. I would like to meet you when I get over there. I'm hoping between December and February. Love your content. Keep up the good work." Thanks, Clyde. You know, I'm humbled by that, man. I love to meet new people. I've had so many people come over here and meet me, and I'm glad because they can bear witness that I'm just a regular guy. And what you see is what you get. You know, I'm not putting on some kind of airs in my videos. Then you come over here and you get somebody else. That's just not me. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you've heard a lot of them stories about the Philippines because that's all the guys would talk about. They wouldn't talk about nowhere else. We even went to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. We went to Cartagena, Colombia. But all they wanted to talk about was the Philippines. Michael Ray says, "I've been married here for 15 years and the temptation is still there. But I know what I have and won't chance losing her. But it doesn't hurt to look, enjoy the beauty." Yeah, see, thank you, Michael. You're just bearing witness to what I'm saying. You got a good woman, but the temptation's always going to be there. I'm just saying, guys, if you don't have the self-discipline, that's what you're going to need. Because as long as your woman is right there with you, you're going to be fine. But the minute she goes back to the province for a week or two, then you'll see what you got. Because the topic today is beware of the NextPat and the STEALIPINA. See, I was going to have a guy on here today. He didn't show up. I wanted him to talk about his experience with the NextPat. He was a victim of the NextPat. You know, and he told me, he said, "Yeah, Calvin, you know, my wife was starting to get on Facebook and she met this guy." He said, "Next thing you know, I couldn't get through to my wife." And then she ended up with him. And now they got a baby and all this and all that. He was going to tell the story, but he didn't show up. The NextPat is real, and I'm not hating on guys. Somebody's like, "Yeah, hating on men is real." I'm not hating on people. I'm just telling you that after all the work you've done, bringing her from Brazil, the Philippines, Colombia, wherever, to your country, there's men sitting around waiting. That's a duh. If you don't think that's happening, it is. A lot of times it's your friends, your family, and your co-workers. They're hoping and praying it don't work out because they're going to pounce on it. They're looking up and down at all the barbecues and all that anyway. And we make it worse because we want to brag about the woman, what she does, how good she is in bed. And then, you know, we tell them all the problems. Same with the STEALIPINA over here. If you're a Filipino and you watching this, stop telling your business to these women. Because she's going to do whatever you won't do. Whatever you won't do, she's going to do. So if you tell her, "Yeah, he's mad at me because I won't give him a BJ every night," she's going to do the BJ every night. Or, you know, he wants to do this or do that, and I won't let him. She's going to let him. And we do the same thing over there. It's just the flip side. Tall Barber, thanks for that super chase. And good morning, Cal. Hope more people watch and pay attention to the jewels you drop on us. I'll be a vet my first trip there because of you. Keep up the great content, brother. Tony. Thanks, Tony. I just don't want people to get blindsided when they come over here because you will. Don't be like me. I just got on the plane. I didn't do any research. Maybe 2 days before I came to the Philippines. This is the God's honest truth. I got into, it was called, back then it was called, I forgot what it was called, chat room. Because I was just online looking up Philippines. And I got in the chat room and that's all it was. And the question came to this woman, says, The Filipinas like black guys. If she would have said no, I would have never made the trip probably. I would have discouraged me from coming. But she said, yeah, we love black men because they treat us like queens. This is her words, not mine. I'm just telling you what I read. And there was another guy on there. He said to anybody in the chat room, if you're going to the Philippines for the first time, sign up for a dating site. And he put a couple of dating sites up there. And I clicked on cebuanas.com. That's all I knew. I never even heard of internet dating before coming to the Philippines. I never got online. Online dating was new to me, man. Remember, I was married, for 18 years, 16 really. The last two I don't count. I never knew anything about online dating. I got on there, man, and just like y'all, everything, my inbox was full, notifications off the chain, phone, just the ringing off the hook. And I'm thinking to myself, because I don't know any better. I'm naive as hell. Like, man, these Filipino women, they really, they're really sincere about meeting somebody. Not knowing that my dumb ass, they're trying to hook me. But I didn't know any better. The good thing is, majority of them were honest people. And see, back then, I'm telling you, man, even though it was only 13 years ago, it's different then. It was different then than it is now. It's slimy in them dating sites now. It takes more time. The women that I met before, these were legitimate women the minute I went online. There was no scrolling through a whole bunch of profiles. The minute you clicked on one that you liked, you sent her a message. Maybe a day or two later, she sends it back. Not even that. Boom, there it was. Now it's like that damn green light, man. Y'all need to be careful about that green light. Real talk with Paul says it's okay to look at the flyers, just don't pick one when you have one already. Yeah, man, but what happens, when your flower was not around? Sun Warm Growth says, I have to just live where she is. I think you would have to. Auntie Perrick says, hey, Cal, in your opinion, how would a guy be treated by women there if he wasn't focused on getting with one of them for a while? Well, see, they don't know what your intentions are. They have their own intentions. Their intentions are to win you over, to change your mind. I mean, if you just straight up told a woman, I don't know how far you would get with her, really, if you told her, well, I'm not really interested in you for real. I just want to bang you and go on about my business. They're not wired like that over here. If we're honest with ourselves, the men who really get to first base and that hit a home run, a grand slam, we're making promises first. That's what she runs on. She wants that commitment. So if you just say, oh, well, let's just go out, have a good time and go on about business. There's some over here. Michael Ray said, when I lived in the States, I was a player because there the women were also. Jacob Johnson said, don't show your hand. Destination Live says, good morning, Cal. I'm coming to the Philippines for the first time in December. Definitely going to wear the darkest sunglasses I can. That's a great plan. You're going to need them. You're definitely going to need them. I rode the bus from, we went to Bacala yesterday. I got some Christmas gifts for a couple of friends at the gym. Their birthday is Monday. And we're going to a party and stuff. Man, I tell you what, it was so many beautiful young women on that bus. Getting on, getting off, getting on, getting off. It's a good thing that I've gotten all that out of my system. because it doesn't take, Robert was on here the other day. You can say something stupid like, I know you're not going to give me your number, but I'm going to ask for it anyway. Something stupid like that. They like stuff like that over here, believe it or not. And, just something like, okay, when you go to, okay, I ate, when I got through shopping, I went down to, what's it called? Chow King. Because I like they call it Chow Fan. A Chow Fan, a Chow Fan. I call it fried rice. That's all it is. In America, that would be fried rice. They call it CHAOFAN. And, I ordered and I sit down waiting. And then the ladies behind, they caught asking me questions. See, I could easily take it to the, another direction. But I don't, see. But one thing you got to be careful of, Filipinos are so nice. A lot of times they're just being nice. They really don't, they're really not really interested in you. We can take it the wrong way. They're just being nice. But a lot of times when they start delving into your life and asking you those deep questions like, are you married? Man, that's a green flag if you're interested. You're like, no. I was getting a massage right before I went to Thailand. I was in Manila. Nice looking woman. I mean, by the time, they never do this to me when they're giving me a massage. Usually they're just quiet. They give me a massage. You go, man, she was talking to me the whole time. Hey, happy video. Say hello, Calvin from Davao City. Yusuf Amar Habib sent me here. Hi there, Yusuf. Wow. Okay, Yusuf, I see you. Timothy Bright said, Calvin, does anyone ask when it would be another meet and greet? Me and Merlin were talking about it today. The last one was in October. I'm thinking about February maybe. But I'm going to take it by ear. If enough people's over here in January, we might have it in January. But more likely it's going to be February or March. Because it's getting bigger and bigger. W Secrets to Success Blocks at PSA Cal advise your subscribers all that if they receive any messages ask for money information not coming from you. Absolutely. Everybody knows I don't ask for money. What they'll do is they'll clone your profile picture. I don't know how they do that. I don't even know how they're allowed to do that. But thank you, W Secrets to Success, for bringing that up. Because they try all that old stupid stuff. Y'all know I'm not talking about investments or anything like that. Okay. Let's see. Real Talk with Paul says, I'm in the Philippines now and I love it. I'm with my woman. I have an apartment here now, so I will have somewhere to stay when I get there. Oh, okay. So you're going back and forth. Long distance relationships can be punishing. Luis Paganpan said, guys should be honest with themselves. You can't control your emotions or want to wife everyone you meet. You will have issues. Be single and mingle as long as it takes. Remember, marathon over sprint. Yeah, see, that's where we get into trouble over here. We're in such of a hurry to get married. But let's talk about the NextPat, because people seem to think that they don't have anything to worry about. Or if your Filipino loves you, but how do you know she loves you? You don't really know. If she don't love herself, or not just her, but if somebody doesn't love themselves, they're not going to love you. But you don't know if she loves you. That's one of the risks you take when you bring her home. You don't know if she's really into you or not. So the NextPat is over there. He's hoping against hope that she's 1 out of 100 that is vulnerable to his, those seeds of doubt that he plants in her head. Persuasion, you have to understand the word persuasion. That means you get people to start agreeing to the way you see things. I had to learn how to be persuasive in my insurance career to get people to see their health care from a different perspective, my perspective, and the benefits that I'm putting out there. And people persuade these women that they're with the wrong man. You're in America now. You don't need that old man over there. All right, I've got more money than him. I can give you a better life than he can. And sometimes it's her support group. What happens is some of these guys, they have more money than you that the Filipinas married to, right? So she goes over there for a cookout, whatever it is, because I've done it. And they got these big, gigantic farms and basically mansions. And she's like, some women get influenced by that. I had one, a brother, he was a black guy. Him and his wife had come to our house before. And I had a nice house. I mean, we were renting it, but it was really nice in a nice neighborhood. But anyway, she had got with this group of Filipinas and they were married to doctors. One woman was married to a guy who owned his own construction business. I'm talking about he was rich. And he had rebuilt a house in a black neighborhood for a family. I mean, they lived on like a ranch or like maybe 100 acres or something like that. Well, pretty soon, and he lived in the hood. But he had a nice house, brand new truck, good job. He was a good brother. But they had somehow convinced her that what he was giving her wasn't enough. Don't you know that they split up? And guess what? She's back in the Philippines now, living in Zamboanga del Norte, back in the province with a Filipino man. Yeah, I mean, she had a good life over there, and she had 2 kids that he, was going to bring over, but that's what happens, guys. Hey, Tate Sanders, what's going on? He's got a Facebook page now. Not Facebook, YouTube channel is a little different. He met his wife in America. See, I'd like for you to come on either the panel or let me interview you because I'd like to see what that's like. Because there's a lot of NextPats on here watching my channel. They don't even know they're NextPats. But you want to try to talk to Filipinos in your country. And you see how difficult it is. It's really difficult. And it's not because she has a lot more options. It's because she doesn't really need you, really. She's got a good job. I can get a good job. And she's already where she's trying to get to. We're a means to an end, but we don't want to believe that. So that's why when you meet a Filipino over there, it's hard to meet them over there in your country, by the way. Because they're already there. Now they're more choosy now. They got their friends and everybody. They got all this influence around them. And you're not going to be their number one choice. They get real picky when they get over there. And I wouldn't want that anyway. I'm funny when it comes to stuff like that. And it's being a hypocrite, really. I've had so many women and all that, but I don't want a Filipino that's already been with a foreigner. I just don't want it. I'm sorry. Call me a hypocrite. Oh, okay. Tata Sanders said, just been working. We had a daughter back in August. I think this is your second child since I met you, because I believe your wife was pregnant when I met you. Yeah. It was sad. And the guy had all good intentions. He was going to take care of the woman, and he was taking care of her. But because her friends all lived, were married to doctors and different things like that, he had a house in the hood, It was his house. He was buying it. And it turned out it wasn't good enough. He said, I was an expat at 22 years old to a gorgeous Filipino lady. Yeah, I mean, you had somebody's leftovers is what that was. And I know it's shallow, but we turn them out, guys. I'm going to tell you that now. And I'll just leave that to the next pet if that's what he wants. Because he's slimy, man. He don't care. He doesn't realize she got over here some kind of way. And he doesn't care. He just wants her to walk around and have the trophy wife. He'll never come to the Philippines, by the way. He'll never come to the Philippines. He'll never send her not 1 peso in her time of need. He waits for our dumb asses to do all the work and bring her over there. Hey, Killer Stiller, what's going on? He said, much better. Tata Son said, yeah, second child. We had a son first. And also been dealing with my mom. She had a stroke. Oh, man. My sincere condolences to your family, man, for your mother. Kamal says, agreed, first foreigner only. Yeah. And believe it or not, if you say I'm shallow, Filipinos are the same way. They would prefer somebody who's never been with a Filipino before. Ask your woman. Okay. Timothy Bright said, I've never heard of NextPat. What does this mean? Well, NextPat is he wants a Filipina or Brazilian or whatever. He's on the dating sites, but he's never going to come over here. Sometimes he has a passport, sometimes he doesn't, but he's never coming overseas. He's never going to make that long trip. He's never going to do the paperwork and bring the woman back on the visa. He waits for you to do it. And then he sits around and hopes and prays that your relationship doesn't work out. And then he pounces. And in some cases, he doesn't even know. He just ends up meeting a Filipina in his country that you brought over there, by the way, more than likely. And, he's got what he wants. But that's what I call it. He's a NextPat. He wants the next man's woman. That's where I got the word next. He wants the next man's woman. He wants your woman. He doesn't want to go over there. Yeah. He said, man, Calvin, you make that damn NextPat look dirty as an ML. He slammed me, man, because if you want a woman, come on over here and get her. But they won't do that. They're lazy. Don't think when you see these guys with these Filipinas and their NextPats, don't think that the Filipinos all just fell into their lap, man. It takes a lot to meet a Filipino over there in your country. Try it if you don't believe me. Try to meet one when you see one. Try to say something to her over there and see what happens. Hey, Don Ridgeway, what's going on? He said, what's up, Cal? He said, out here at Dallas-Fort Worth Airport working second shift. Man, is that your only job or you got 2 jobs? Yeah, he said, having standards isn't being shallow. That's right. Yeah, but this guy, of course he's slimy. I'm going to call him slimy. If he wants to come up on your letdown, what kind of man is that? What kind of man is sitting around, waiting for your leftovers? Because by the time he gets what I'm giving, the turkey ain't got no legs, no breasts. There's very little meat left on the bones, but he don't give a damn. He's hungry. Guided by spirituality. Hey, Cal, I really need to talk to you about a good friend of mine in the Philippines. How can I contact you? I'm in the United States. Maybe we can email, contact each other. Okay, here's my email. And then if you talk about the STEALIPINA, she has no more morals than him. They all want the guaranteed thing, both of them, the NextPat and the STEALIPINA. They want your mate, but they don't want to do the work. See, she don't want to go on the dating site and spend all that time and sift through all them men, find out who's got a pension, who doesn't, who's really sincere and who's not. She don't want to do that. She has already been sitting back in the wings watching you and your woman over here. See what I'm saying? She knows that you're a good man. She's seen the progress you made over here. The house, the car, the motorcycle. She watches the Facebook posts. She sees the lifestyle. Barakai, Penglao Bahal, Bentan Island. See? So she said, "This, I want him." And the first chance she get to put some dirt on your woman, she gonna do it. Yeah, you know that she's Maryland's fooling around with that instructor over there. They'll tell you. W Secret says a little meat on the bone. Yeah, it's gonna be a whole lot by the time I get done with him. Yes, yeah. How come NextPat don't go after Big Shirley? You know, he's tired of Big Shirley anyway. Well, that's what the NextPat really is. But see, Jody is dealing on his own turf. This NextPat, he wants to come off, man, off your letdown, man. I can't deal with it. No, Billy, he said, "Can you explain what a NextPat is? Is it an NextPat that makes a move on you?" No, a NextPat is he wants the next man's woman. He wants your woman. He's not going to come over to the Philippines and get his own woman, guys. He wants yours. He's going to wait till you bring her home. My ex-wife is with a NextPat now. She claims he's got a passport. That clown ain't never been over here. If he did, it was probably doing it if he was in the service or something. Yeah. He's a NextPat. He never met her family. Never made that long ass trip over here. He never gave her 1 peso in her time of need. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say I have no respect for those guys. Not because I met NextPats long before me and my wife split up. We used to go, if you're married to a Filipino, man, and you guys can co-sign for me over there, and you're in America, wherever you are, they come together once, twice, 3 times a month. And you'll see them. These are guys, you know, they're with the Filipino whose relationship didn't work out, the original one, the man who brought her over here. But not all of them come over there with a K-1 or spousal visa. We've got friends who are nurses who, you know, came over on their own. So I don't consider them NextPats. But it's the ones where the relationship didn't work out. Now all of a sudden she falls into his lap. He's got a woman he could never imagine having otherwise. And you see them and they talk about the Philippines as if they've ever been here. They've never been here. And that's the crazy thing about it. He's never been here. But she doesn't care because she's where she wants to be. She don't care. She can't see it. She can't see that he would, under normal circumstances, would never make the sacrifices that you made. But it doesn't matter to her. She's where she wants to be now. And they move on quickly. So she just wants to have somebody to fill the void. She don't care that he's never met the family or anything like that. Steve Stern said, "Who's Big Shirley?" All them big mouth women over in America who say they don't need a man and all of that. That's Big Shirley. The feminist movement and all of that. Okay. Don, by the way, Don Ridgway's from my hometown. He said, "This is my part-time job, nights and weekends." Do they give tips there? Are you a porter or something? Because, man, them porters, In America, man, at the airport, man, make big money. Michael Ray says, if your Filipino thinks your money has ran out and treats you like a king and supports you, then you know she loves you, not just using you. Well, the key words there are if she thinks your money has run out, because they're going to be there initially for the financial situation and the opportunity. And I don't blame them for that. I'm not putting anybody down for that. But I was telling a guy in my comments on my last video, even a broke foreigner is good for a 6-month run over here, because, you know, he's going to keep them thinking. He's good for a 6-month run because he said, well, with no money, no looks, and something else, he said, I don't have a chance over there. I said, no, broke foreign over here. It's good for a 6-month run. Okay. Now, this is supposed to be the Christian guy. Now, look how he's talking now. This is supposed to be the guy who's letting the Holy Spirit lead him. Now, where was the Holy Spirit then? He said, I seen a Filipino with a fat ass at 21 years old that left her mail order dude. Skip what y'all talking about. Yeah, I hit that. That's okay. I mean, you know, you can wear that NextPat badge with honor. We're expats over here. We get our own women. We don't need somebody else's leftovers. That's the way I look at it. Yeah, I actually did. I'll do it again. Guided by spirituality. Sorry. Here it is. I forgot to hit the enter button. There it is. Yeah, the holy roller. Now he's talking about fat ass. Where's the Holy Spirit now? Oh, okay. Vince lost. He said, you missed a good game today. Well, what? The Georgia? I'm sure Georgia won because Kentucky can't handle big games like that. But, you know, thanks, Vince. But what I do is I watch the highlights anyway. They on YouTube, they have like the 12 best minutes of the game anyway. Teresina Drive said, hello, Calvin. Do you think overall most Filipinos prefer to date a foreign over local? No. They would much rather have a local. They're not different. They're no different than anybody else. Most black women want a black man. White women want a white man. The women over here that date foreigners, usually they start out dating Filipinos. You know, they're in close proximity. The Filipino man has everything in common with them. And over here, he understands the struggle a whole lot more than we do. But they're no different than anybody else. So, yeah, they would much rather be with a local because he eats the dried fish and, you know, he understands them, man, you know, the culture. That's just, you know, but we're just fortunate that all you need is one. And I always tell guys that. Don't worry about, I'll do all Filipinos this, I'll do Philippines that. All you need is one to like you. The right one. That's all you need is one. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, write me anytime, man. If I can help him, I will. Yeah, just be true to yourself. A happy wife or a happy husband, listen to this, is the kryptonite to the NextPat and the STEALIPINA. See, there's nothing that the STEALIPINA can tell me that's going to make me leave Maryland, unless Maryland's fooling around, and I know it's true because I can deal with just about anything than that. Can she do worse things? Yeah, but that, I can't deal with that. Just to know that another man's grinding in there, even though before I met her, see, what I don't know won't hurt me. See, But when I found out that, yeah, you screwing around on the side, some man, beating you up when I'm somewhere playing tennis or something like that. Yeah, I can't deal with that. What are you doing, Booby? Let's see what Booby wants. What? What happened? Oh, where you, honey? Don't hide from Booby. Look in the bathroom. Go in the bathroom. Knock on the door right here. Here, right here. Who is that? Marilyn? Is that Marilyn? Oh, yeah, Booby's looking for you. Crazy. Hand me a drink, Marilyn. Booby, they hiding from Booby. Oh, okay. The Bills just beat the Vikings. Calvin, Timothy Bright said, Calvin, Ernestine just got home talking to us. She pissed off. I keep in touch with you and keep talking about Philippines and got a passport. Uh-oh. Is that Big Ernestine? Oh, it was a classic game. Yeah, the unholy spirit took over. Yeah, when he gets over here, it's going to be the ace in the hole. Oh, okay, Ohio State. Yeah, see, he's baluting all that. He speaks the language. What did you say, huh? What's she talking about? What are you doing, the cardio? Yeah. Let's see. 010 says, is it true not only do random Filipinos on the street do that stuff, even the relatives of your Filipino will come at you like that? You mean it's a STEALIPINA? Yeah, I told you the first foreign I ever met over here. We're friends now. His girlfriend's first cousin snitched her out. Roderick Lee says, I work in the medical field and know several female nurses from the Philippines. I can see a NextPat trying to squeeze in. They are very nurturing women. Yeah, and they will. Philippines have a reputation not as being scammers, man, as taking care of their men. And that's the Filipino would tell you that. Because when I come over, they say, "How's your wife Filipino?" You say, "Yeah. Filipino takes care of me," and it reaches his ears. Or maybe he's been in the service, but he's never been over here before, and he wants him. He's crazy about him. He's got a Tinder account. He's got a Filipino Cupid account, but he's never going to come over here. Brian Hatcher said, Cal, you ever coming back to the USA or are you staying in the Philippines forever? Either way, you're a cool bro. Peace from Florida. Well, my son is supposed to be going back soon. I would never leave while he's here. I promised him that. Once he's safe and sound over there, then I may go back for a visit to see my family and friends. A brief visit. And then I'll come back. There's nothing there for me, like I said, If for some reason I get stuck over there, man, I'd be miserable. I don't know. I'd go down to Mexico. I wouldn't stay in America, man. It's too many miserable people over there. And then, man, I got some bad news yesterday. One of my best friends, is not my best friend in the United States, his wife died last night. Well, it would have been Friday night in America. And I knew them both. I knew them for, decades. And it really shocked me. I don't know the details. He said there's levels of Filipino women. City girls probably different. Well, here's what I know. Their culture's thick, man. And even though a lot of these islands have different cultures and traditions, a lot of the Filipino women, they're old-fashioned, man. They're conservative. And you have to be you don't really know if they're from the city. It's not like you can see somebody and say, oh, you're from the city. I talk to somebody and say, oh, you're from the province. A lot of the women in the city come from the province. They come there to work. But to be honest with you, is it a difference? Because my wife was from the city. She's never lived in the province. She's lived in Zamboanga City her whole life. Now, my son's mother's from the province. Is there a difference? Yeah. Province women seem to love harder, man. And they're feistier. They're tougher. And that's the only difference. But as far as, being all around good women and know how to take care of their men, there's not a whole lot of difference, really. Kamal says, true, before 2007, I never saw myself dating beyond America. Yeah, in 2009, I was still, well, until I came here, I was still, pursuing the American dream. And I was living the American dream at that time. I had the big house. I had the new car. Okay, here comes Robert. Now, he's going to join us. What's up, Robert?
Good evening.
Hey, I'm glad you could join us. What's your experience with that NextPat, man? Do you have any experience with the NextPat?
Oh, God. Yeah, well, where do you start with the NextPat? First of all, that's a good way to call it, NextPat, okay? But they come in all shapes and sizes, different nationalities. They're just sitting there waiting in the wings. And it don't matter, like, you can be Shakespeare and write her the most beautiful love song and give her, she's not interested, she's lost interest, and at some point, you can harm yourself. If you're just going to sit there for 2 months, I can't eat and I can't sleep and I can't do, shake yourself up, man, get out of that, she's moved on. You better just check yourself.
Yeah, they move on quick, don't they, Robert? Once the NextPat slips in there.
And the kids are gone with her too.
Yeah. Never too late. Thanks for that super chat. He said, lived in Bahrain 6 years, spent 5 months in Maravillas. What? Just came back a few months ago. Americans seem so unhappy now. It's very noticeable. Yeah, it's very noticeable. Now, where is that Maravillas? Is that Mexico? He said, hey, Robert. Ray Lewis said, hey, Robert.
How you doing, Ray? You can call me Ray.
T. Holmes said, PB, gas lamp, Tijuana 3 times a week. Nah, it ain't cheap. Let's see. Mike Dorsonville says, your Filipino girl give you the tune-up on the regular basis. She won't have to worry about anything. Well, I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying. I was getting it on the regular, man, in all of my relationships, especially with my son's mother. I mean, it's the first time I ever turned a woman down, like, hey, look, you just did that 5 minutes ago. But no matter how attractive they are, because most of them are attractive enough, cooperative enough, and submissive enough. But the fact that you can just reach out and grab another one, man, that's a powerful temptation, man, that a lot of us have never experienced before. Because she would say, what else do I have to do? Why are you going? She didn't understand me. She didn't understand it. Like, I'm doing everything for you. Why do you have to go out there like that? And, it wasn't because I'm some ornery guy or something like that. It's just that I never had those kind of options presented to me, Robert.
Calvin, I think it's just a case most times, and let's just face the facts that you're not keeping her satisfied. She wouldn't be looking somewhere else if you were taking care of business.
Yeah, not a whole lot you can do about that. That's what I said on the video. if your woman's not with you for the right reasons, there's nothing you really can do. The next pet is just he's just waiting for his turn to.
I called it, I've always called it the BBD, the bigger, better deal.
Yeah, well, like I said, if she has no intentions of ever loving you anyway, what in the world, what can you do? Ace says, my girlfriend's friends are always asking her to share me. All these girls are so beautiful. I've never been to a country like the Philippines. Every time I leave, I cry. Now I'm retired. I'll be living in Orbo. See, he's bearing witness to what I'm saying. When I first came here, I teared up at the airport. I'm like, what's going on with me? Never did that before.
If you want to shock her, the next time she walks out the door and you know where she's headed, hand her a few condoms and say, use these.
Greg John said, what's up, Cal? New to the channel. Welcome, man. Appreciate you. Tita Child says, guys need to realize the Filipinos have Filipino friends and family in America they're not going to tell you about. Their mission is get citizenship at any cost. I guess some of them, you know.
You know what your first sign that she's seeing an expat? You know what the first sign is?
What?
Well, she's got all these new positions that you've never seen before. And where'd she learn that?
Oh, wow. Now, how long were y'all together before the NextPat slid in there, Robert?
From 2011 until 2015. It was about 5 years.
So did you see any red flags, though?
Facebook, man. She couldn't get off the Facebook. And, you know, every time that you'd look at the Facebook, she'd switch it over to Candy Crush.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the NextPat is real. I don't understand why people think I'm making this stuff up. There's somebody right now going through the process right now that the NextPat is going to take your woman. She doesn't love you in the first place. But he's never going to come over here and do everything that you're doing, make all the sacrifices you're making, spend all the money you're making, by the way. That 20-hour trip he's never going to make. But he's waiting for you because he knows that 1 out of 100 of these women you bringing over there, they have no business staying, that they have no intention of staying with you. And that's what he wants. He wants your scraps off the table. I'm going to tell you now, if you're a NextPat watching me, by the time you get what I've got, ain't nothing going to be left. Going to be little meat left on them bones, Robert. All the legs is gone, the breast. He's going to be getting skin and bones. If that's what he wants, then he can have it.
Every particular case is different. In my case, you know, we were together for, we were trying to have children. She had 4 boys. And she had a couple of miscarriages, and she just figured, you know, it's just not working here. I'll try somewhere else. And I'm not going to hold her back. And wouldn't you have it, 6 months later, you know, after she's pregnant, and now she always wanted a baby girl. And I got nothing but happiness for her. I'm not, you know, people say, why did you help her? Why did you do this? Why did you give her money for a down payment on her car? You guys are split up. But, you know, helping out her folks, I carried it across the goal line, man. I'm not going to stop at the half-yard line.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I was saying about Gail. We got her to the 1-yard line. All it takes is for her father just to do the damn quarterback sneak and get on across to the touchdown, but he won't do it. Terracina Drive says, by the way, do you pay property tax in the Philippines? Maryland does. You know, this is Maryland's house and lot. But yeah, we do. I forgot what it is. I think it's something like 1,700 pesos that we pay every March before March 31st. Ace says, guys, Sunshine's giving y'all some of the best advice you can get. He should write a book on the Philippines. Homegrown Filipinos are some of the most beautiful women in the world. Those are facts about the women. And if you can pass that test, guys,
don't let your ego get in the way. I mean, if you can't keep her happy and you're just, going 2 months and you're all just sad and I can't feel nothing anymore. No, pick yourself up and go to the gym. Go. That's where I just came back from the gym. I just, put yourself in a better position to hold on to what you got, because obviously something wasn't working.
Now here's traveling with Marlene, Marlon. This is what 53 Shades Darker was talking about. She says, foreigners and Filipinos with a good heart both have a second thought about being cheated are not treated good. For Filipinos, we are scared to be treated badly and no care. We care so much. And that's what I was saying. A lot of times we go above and beyond what the Filipino even expects. She just wants to be respected and treated good, but we go way beyond what she expects, and it gets us in trouble sometimes. You got to meet her where she is, and then go from there. But we start out way up here. 12 million pesos, 20 million pesos. It's ridiculous, guys. You don't have to do that. Okay, Alpino R lived in Makati. Do you think 150,000 pesos a month is good? I guess he's saying it's good to retire on. Absolutely. That's a lot of money over here. That's a lot of money. Yeah, Mr. Gregory Mitchell, do the right thing. Hillbilly in Asia said, hey, Sunshine Showing guys, my brother's wife was good, never cheat until she moved to Kentucky, started working at Toyota. Hell, she got her citizenship. She left him for a rich guy. Well, that's the thing about it, guys. You never know what you got until the pedal hits the metal. When you'll know what kind of Filipino you got when she gets in a position where she don't need you anymore. And if she's still there, then you got a good one. But that's the only time you're gonna know. You're not gonna know until you're on an equal playing field. As long as she needs you, then it's easy to stay. But when she gets to a point where she can take care of herself and she don't need you anymore and she's still there, you got a good one. I had a good one, man. The mistake I made was coming back here, not really understanding her thought process about coming here. She did not want to come back, but she didn't want to disappoint me. All she had to do was tell me, hey, I don't want to come back to the Philippines. I got a good job over here. We're living good over here, But I had a good one. She had a great job at she's got good credit. She had a great job at General Electric. And she was still with me. But yeah, Curtis Thomas said, yeah, man, when they come over here, they have all the guys wanting them. And when we are there, they all want us. Yes, it's just the flip side. That's why we have to look at her side too, not just our side. Oh, don't bring her over there. Well, what about when you're over here? Now she's under the gun. She's under the pressure now, Robert, when everybody wants you.
Well,
Sean Reed said, did I just hear your homeboy right? Did he say he gave her a down payment and everything after she cheated and got pregnant and they weren't together? Yeah, Robert's a good guy. You did all that, didn't you, Robert? Right?
I did everything and more. I was being generous to a fault.
He said he saw you at the gym. You did one push-up and left, Robert. Y'all got Robert messed up. You be in the gym smoking cigarettes and doing push-ups, don't you, Robert? They don't know you.
Well, a little nicotine will keep away the Alzheimer's. And I'm not the only one. I know world champions that smoke.
I'm gonna tell you something. We're so naive. when it comes to stuff like that. I remember the New York Mets won the World Series, and they showed Darryl Strawberry smoking a cigarette in the locker room. It shocked me, man. I was shocked. I didn't
Andrew
think
Tate, Andrew
I didn't think
Tate
that
smoked.
smoke.
We got people that are world champion. Andrew Tate smokes cigars, and of course Mike Tyson, he's smoking. Well, each to his own. I mean, sometimes it just if it's leading you down the wrong path, and if you can't control it and it's controlling you, then you got a problem.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's what happens when you get over here. If you have a compulsion with women, they'll control you. And there's a lot of wimps over here. They're whipped. You know, they let that pair of deuces trump that royal flush because they're trying to be the good guys over here. They don't understand how the game plays, how the game is played. It's okay to do that after you've sold all your oats, because you're wasting good screwing time over here, trying to be run by the Holy Spirit and all of that.
I'm gonna say something about nicotine. The world's leading scientist at Harvard on longevity, this guy they're using nicotine. There are Nobel Prize winners that are saying, hey, this is good for you. It keeps it, and really, I don't know. There are people 100 years old having a cup of coffee and a cigarette in the morning.
Yeah. My mother.
I'm not saying it's good.
My mother died of lung cancer.
I'm not saying it's good for everyone, but it just depends on. I think tire dust and brake dust is worse for you than it's a natural. And if you really want to get into it, the crazy maniacs are the ones that are using these vapes. You know, at least tobacco, it's a natural plant. You know, it's natural. But vaping, you're putting in that propylene glycol and all kinds. That's like antifreeze. That's not natural.
Yeah, Sean Reed says, "Oh, I'm sure he could prove that she cheated with the DNA test and get out of those fees and support." Well, we sign a affidavit of support when we bring the Filipino over. It's good for 10 years, but the only stipulation of getting out of that is if she becomes a U.S. citizen or a citizen of your country. Then it's voided. And a lot of people need to know that. So if that's something you're worried about, or you got her over there and you didn't realize, hey, it's 10 years, then encourage her to become a citizen. That's what I would do.
I'm going to say one more thing about this nicotine. Okay, there's another doctor from Colombia, Peter Attia, Attia, Peter Attia, and he does an interview with Lewis Howe. And check that out if you want to find out the benefits of nicotine.
Yeah, I'm not fooling with that nicotine, though. I used to work for Brown and Williamson Tobacco Company. I worked in the advertising department, but sometimes we would have to go into research and development. If you've seen what went into those cigarettes, man, you'll be shocked. It's all kinds of stuff goes in those cigarettes. I didn't know, because I smoked for 8 or 9 years way back. It's been almost 25 years since I had a cigarette, but I used to see them. They put strawberry, chocolate. They put all kinds of stuff in their tobacco, man. It smells some tobacco and see what it smells like, not menthol. Yeah, they said Mike Tyson smoking that good green, not a standard cigarette. Yeah, he says, Alpino R says, I'm sorry, but F those cancer sticks. Yeah, Hybrid said, that's bullshit, Robert. The nicotine ain't good for you.
Well, I'm telling you, check out Peter Attia. another longevity expert from Colombia, and just, don't take my word for it. Check out the experts, what they're saying, because it's preventing Alzheimer's, and that's been proven.
Yeah. Infinite Loop said, who here is smoking brake dust? Yeah, my mother died of lung cancer, man, and it was directly from smoking. My mother smoked for 50 years, man. She died at 62. And anybody out there, I'm going to tell you right now, it's a terrible way to die.
Well,
You
the
don't want
fact
to die of lung cancer, man. My mother suffered, and it was a horrible, and I'm not exaggerating, it's a horrible death.
and if the cancer doesn't get you, the emphysema will, and you'll be carrying around an oxygen tank.
Yeah, see, Harvey Garner said nicotine is not the issue, it's all the other stuff in the smoke. Yeah, tobacco is natural. Yeah, you're right about that. I see what they put in there. Even that menthol, man, and then that has a whole history in itself. Isaiah Allen said, Cal, the man had no involvement, nor was the cause for the falling of the relationship or divorce, and wasn't looking for a Filipina to date. Yeah, is he still a NextPat if she's legally separated? But see, you have to understand, the NextPat, no then, because the NextPat, he wants a Filipina or Brazilian or Colombian or Dominican. He specifically wants one, but he's not going to come over and do the work. Now, what you're talking about is something totally different. She just fell into your lap. You at the gas station pumping gas, and she asked, hey, can you pump my gas? And you both, hit it off from there. You don't know nothing. You never wanted a Filipino. See, that's different. A NextPat is a guy watching this vlog right now, knowing that some of us are doing the visa process. And he's saying, okay, do it. I know that 1 hour, 100 of you are not going to make it, maybe more than that. I want her because I don't want to do the work. I don't want to make that trip over there to the Philippines. I don't want to take care of a family and meet everybody and do all the things that we do. That's a true NextPat. And see, the STEALIPINA, on the other hand, she's his co-conspirator over here, though. She doesn't want to do any work. She doesn't want to go and sift through all them emails in her inbox and take a chance on meeting all those guys. Like some women over here. I know a woman right here in St. Carlos. She's a pretty nice woman. Hell, she's been with 3 men already. Trying to find 3 foreigners all coming here in succession, probably chatting with another one because those 3 didn't work out. They don't want to do that. They want a sure thing. They see Robert. They know what he's doing over here. He's bought the house. He's bought the motorcycle. He's bought the car. He's taking good care of the family. She wants you. She knows what you about. So yeah, Mike Perry, no, that's not a NextPat. I love LaShawn said, back in the day when I worked on 727s, I removed the interior sidewall window panels and could see brown sticky residue on the inside of the panels from the cigarette smoke. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of my clients smoked, and I would go in their house and the walls would be yellow. I mean, you could see, especially in the projects where these older people have been living for years and years, you could see the nicotine seeping down from the ceiling where it dried. It's just smoking back to back. But it's their life, man. That's what they want to do.
Are you telling me that a gentleman shouldn't offer a lady a Tipperello?
Yeah. But yeah, let's talk about this damn NextPat, because I'm going to tell you something. Until you've experienced it, you don't really know how slimy he is. And I'm not hating on anybody. Some guy says, "Oh, you hating on the man?" No, I'm not. I don't want somebody to come up on my misfortune. But I'm gonna tell you, by the time you get my leftovers, ain't gonna be nothing left. You ain't gonna be able to make a sandwich out of it, Robert. I'm gonna squeeze every damn thing out of it. So,
well, and it's probably not going to happen because you don't have any shortcomings, so there's no room left to spare. Steak one day and bones the next.
yeah, chicken one day and feathers the next. Xavier Allen said, "What's up, Cal, who shares the same name as my father? Keep dishing out the knowledge that's preparing me for my first visit. Now the Philippines open to the unvaxxed. Yes, open to the vax and the unvaxxed. Fully open now. You do have to have that test 24-hour pre-departure. Other than that, Philippines is open, man, and they booming. Just the other day, Department of Tourism says, revenues are at 100 billion since they reopened. Over 2 million visitors. Jenny Mark said, Calvin, that jerk makes journeys is really. Oh, Mike's journeys is really slagging you off big time, making you out be a liar using this live in bit moments to put you down. Time for you to report him. I've reported him 5 times. Yeah, you got to look at why somebody's doing that. There's nothing really I can really do. I report all that stuff. YouTube doesn't do enough. But it's not him, really. It's the people following him. That's a troll channel now, as far as I'm concerned. There's no real information coming out of there. And these guys who make those, I just don't understand it. They know where I am. He was just in the Philippines. He never did a video on me. I mean, if you don't like what I'm saying, just keep scrolling. I'm living my best life over here. I don't have time for any squabbles, any internet squabbles. A beef benefits his channel and channels like his. If I go back and forth with him, see, that benefits him. I won't even recognize those guys anymore. Let him come. I'm gonna take the high road. He'll never be where I am. Hey, what's up, James? It's James. Are you in the Philippines, man? If you are, man, and you haven't reached out to me, man, I'm going to be mad. Because I know you said you were coming in November. And I can't say this, guys. James sent me a picture of his son. It looks just like James, believe it or not. Now, I don't know to feel sorry for him or not, James, but he looks like you. That's a fact. He says, so 43% will lose their Philippines, they march to America. Oh, I don't know. No, that's a big, no. I don't think that's pretty big. I said 1 in 100, but it's probably more than that. But a lot of these relationships work out. But what we're talking about is this guy who waits for your relationship to go wrong. Instead of him just getting a passport, getting on a plane, and coming over here and doing the same footwork you do, he won't do it. But he loves the hell out of Filipinos. But he's never going to come over here and meet the family, Robert. Will Rose said the test is for unvaccinated or everyone. No, just the unvaccinated. If you're vaccinated and with a booster, you don't have nothing to do. No, I'm back now. You're going to tell me, where are you? What do you mean you're back now? Are you back in the United States or are you in the Philippines, James? Yeah, congrats, James. But I'm saying, where are you, James? I wanted you to come on here, man, if you were still in the Philippines. If you were. Yeah, James, where are you? Are you in the Philippines? Are you back in America? Put a picture of your son up because he looks like James. The first time James showed me the picture, I said, yeah, that's your son, James. Oh, okay, he's back home now. So let me ask you, James, something. Why didn't you reach out to me when you was in the Philippines? What's going on, man? Oh, okay. Oh, so you know. Oh, wow. Well, damn. This is something I didn't know. This is new to me. He said the separation rate is 43%. Robert, I'm part of the 43%, and you got to realize that it could be higher than that because a lot of people that are separated, they don't report it. He said it's very hard, man. Well, I can imagine because those long distance relationships, man. So were you able to do anything? How old is your son? Is your wife already past the 6-week mark? I know you were probably in there trying to grind up something anyway, wasn't you, James? Even though the woman just came out of the damn operating room, you still trying to get up on it. What you doing over there, Robert? You got more signs for us? Sponsor I-864 affidavit. That's a hell of a affidavit.
Yeah. Well,
the
NextPat will never have to deal with that because you've already towed the line.
Yeah. He's a month old. He said, oh, wow. He's a month old. But I don't know what you mean, a troll bird. What's a troll bird? But anybody that's trying to yeah, James. Yeah, y'all know James was trying to get up in there. The lady just got out of the operating room. James is trying to hit that steel. She's probably still bleeding, James, and you trying to get some before you go back. I told y'all about that. I mean, what does this mean? I don't understand. He said, Kiki and Jasmine on the trail of love. Well, the fact I was acquitted by jury proves him a liar. I don't understand. I had a hot water tank go out while I was away. Oh, okay, at home. What happened, James? Yeah, that's usually about the time when things go bad. This is why I tell guys, don't get on my channel talking about all your men have been together for 4 years, 3 years, 5 years. We're going strong. Yeah. The average marriage in America is 8 years. So talk to me after 8 years. You're still on your honeymoon. James is laughing. You know I'm telling the truth, James. The woman still got stitches in her behind and you trying to get some. Okay. I got it. Yeah, well, it's really none of my business. Yeah, it's time for her to get. But you know, the thing about it is they don't even have to get their citizenship, believe it or not. They can just keep renewing that 10-year visa. See, once they drop the conditions, the removal of conditions off their green card, they're good to go. They don't have to become a U.S. citizen, basically. Mike Perry says, I support the fact that I ain't bringing her to the U.S. so that NextPat can have a chance at my Filipino queen. But that, yeah. But now you're going to put your Filipina under the microscope. Okay. So, yeah, let me get rid of you then. I got rid of that Kiki and Jasmine on the trail of love. You're blocked now. I ain't got time for that stuff, guys. Okay, costs $1,200 to have it replaced. You got big money now, James. You got that website going, man. Did everybody check out James' website Masking Tape Treasures, and he's got a YouTube channel too, by the way. But thanks, Auntie Parrot, for telling me that. I got rid of them. But I don't know who would waste their precious life recording anything. And I mean, what's the end of that? I mean, why can't guys just, if you're in the Philippines or if you have a Filipino channel and you can't come up with content, your only issue is to troll somebody else, you probably should let your channel go, I would say. I mean, if all the content I had was to put somebody else down, I wouldn't be on YouTube. Martin says, I'm coming to the Philippines for the first time next year. Should I go to Cebu or Manila? Cebu, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. Yeah, citizenship is the long game. Now they can sponsor other family members. Yeah, but you got to realize the mother maybe are the children, but the sisters and brothers, I believe it's 27 years or something.
Now you notice I'm not smoking any cigarettes tonight. Maybe I just went scared straight. You guys.
Where did you get them fancy shades, Robert?
These guys here?
Yeah, I noticed you start wearing those on the live. What's going on with that?
No, that's one pair. There's a different one. No, they're made in China. They're cheap. I buy cheap sunglasses.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay, James said he'll be back in January. Yeah, I really, my heart goes out to you guys with these long distance relationships. I couldn't do it. I've never did it. And the most I've probably ever been away was, I want to say 2 months, if that. I want to say 2 months, but I'm not sure if it's that long.
Calvin, when you invite me on here, you know what I'm like. See, I want these guys to be happy and stay safe just the way that you do. And so I feel the need to make a little public service announcement here, if that's okay by you. It's a little bit, it's a little bit off the subject, but we can get back to the subject. But here, just a little short announcement. Okay, we know what this is, right, guys? RFID.
No.
I think you had a little problem with that, didn't you, Calvin? Somebody get in your Wi-Fi or whatever. But anyway, you can protect your credit cards with an RFID protection, or get a wallet, so you can't have your information scanned when you pass by a kiosk. Just a little bit of added advice to protect yourself so you don't get scammed.
Yeah, Ray Lewis makes a great point here. He said, I flew into Manila once. Cebu Airport and city are much better for me. Y'all got to realize that the Cebu Mactan just completed like a multi-billion, I believe it's 4 billion peso upgrade on the airport. It's really nice. Yeah, he says that's lower than America's, closer to 55%. He said, I'm looking forward to come back in March. So he's coming back in February. Yeah, I think I'm going to have it meet and greet sometime in February or March. I may have to have it at a different place, man, because the last time it just about filled up that venue, because nobody's going swimming. Nobody goes swimming. They all sit up there and eat and drink and listen to the music, and that's okay. But I'm probably going to have to find a bigger venue.
Say there, Calvin, how close are you now to the second annual Sunshine Shoulders Beauty Pageant?
Well, I was going to do it in October, but I'm probably going to wait till the first of the year, Robert. I got so much stuff going on, so I can't, because what I'm going to do, I'm going to have 3 Filipinas and 3 of my subscribers as the judges, and then I'll
Are
be
the
the tiebreaker. I'll be the tiebreaker.
are the prizes going to stay the same? What are the prizes going to be? Do you have an idea?
Probably the same as it was last year. We remember it's the pandemic. We're really trying to help people. That's the only reason why I did it. I wasn't trying to exploit anybody. Beauty pageants are big over here in the Philippines. So I just said, hey, we'll do it. We'll give somebody 10,000 pesos. Now, you asked that lady that won last year if that 10,000 pesos didn't help her family. She's from down there in Zamboanga City. That's a lot of money at one time. Merlin said it. 10,000 pesos in your hand. And then I think the second place was 3,000. Third place was 2. Fourth place was 1,000. We gave most of it to the first place. Darren Cooper said, "You're my Filipina. That's why I would never take her to the States. Worst thing you can do is Americanize your Filipina." Yeah. I think it's probably better that you become Asianized than her becoming Americanized. Because they take on that culture. America's a culture. The Philippines is a culture. If you take your woman to America, she's going to become Americanized. I don't care who she is. And the longer
I was told tonight by one of the gentlemen at the gym, I was told tonight that they learn English faster than we learn Tagalog or Visayan.
Well, that's because it's taught in their school, Robert. That's a big advantage. We're not taught Tagalog or Visaya or any Filipino language in our school. They're taught that in the school over here. And yeah.
I mean, if you have a jealous Filipina, does she want you learning her language? I don't think so. But
yeah, they actually do. I was at the gym. You know, the little Messiah I know, man. The people really appreciate it. A guy stopped me because he was saying they were eating pizza, and he invited me over for some pizza. And this is at the gym. I said, "Basug," meaning I'm full, and he said, I really appreciate the fact that you speak our language, that you try to speak our language. Malik Quelly said, "Facts. Don't bring sand to a beach." Well, what's that mean? You mean to America or to the Philippines? Now, I wouldn't bring my wife here. That's a fact. I wouldn't bring a Western woman here, but that's the difference between Europeans and Americans. Europeans, they bring their families here. They go on a family vacation in the Philippines. If you go to Siquijor Island, you'll see whole families of Europeans there. And they're having a great time. But we don't do it. We come here by ourselves.
Well, I think, Calvin, you could gear up that beauty pageant. You could gear it up a little bit, aside from just beauty, maybe a little dialogue or a little bit of entertainment of some kind, maybe
well,
to show.
Yeah, it's going to be different this time. It's going to be patterned behind the Miss Universe. There's going to be, of course, beauty. There's going to be the bikini, the gown, and then the spoken, the question and answer. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot different. It was our first one, so we made a lot of mistakes. First of all, it's not going to be that voting thing. I was up all night counting them damn votes. Stephen Borden said, "My 11-year-old niece here, and, is learning English and Korean along with other native languages in her school." Yeah. See, we don't teach, we teach Spanish mainly in America, but now that's the reason why they speak good English, Robert. And remember now, it used to be the law here. You had to learn English. That was a fact. Okay. You didn't have a choice. Mark Johnson says, "I always enjoy your channel because we're only a couple of years apart and I can relate more than some of the other channels." Yeah, I think that's important. And I think that's why when you make a YouTube channel, don't get too not too put off by who's following your channel and who's not, because a lot of times it has to do with who can relate and who cannot. That's a good thing for the channel.
Isn't it comforting? I think it's comforting to know that when an immigrant comes to the United States, you better learn English. You know, there's a lot of pressure put on. Why haven't you been here 20 years? Why haven't you learned English? Okay, but coming over for a visitor to the Philippines, they're not giving us that grief over there, are they, Calvin?
Exactly right. They don't do that. That's why I love it here. They don't force their culture on you like we do in America. You know,
that's my point.
They hear two people speaking in line. I speak English. You're in America because you never been anywhere. Now you go somewhere where you don't know the language, and then you'll see the pressure put on you. Speak Spanish, stupid. You're in Spain. Then what you gonna do?
They're just not like that.
Elvin Brown said, "Why they hating on you, Cal? They were all fans." Yeah, that's all it is. I don't. That's a good question for them. That's a good question to ask them, Elvin Brown, because I don't sit around worrying about it. I'm living my best life over here. Hell, it was a guy that sent me a threatening email talking about he's gonna get him a lawyer. I'm like, really? A lawyer? What have I done, dude, for you to get a lawyer? There's people over here that are miserable. And I'm like, how can you be miserable in the Philippines? I don't get it. But that's a good question, Elvin Brown, for them. But yeah, be on the lookout for this NextPat. Some of you guys may like that STEALIPINA. She might be offering a little bit something than your girl's not offering.
Here we come again. Here we come again. Another public service announcement.
Yeah. This is what I was telling you today. They've got 2 typhoons that are expected to make landfall in the Philippines by the end of this month. So be careful if you're coming over here in November, early December. Look
at Pagasa, that's your source. You can go there. That's your source. Pagasa, that's going to give you the information from Manila.
Yeah, that's who put that information out, Robert. Thanks for putting that up.
Well, I got that from you, Calvin. The idea, you mentioned it in your you've mentioned that before, but I just want to flash it in their mind so when they look at it, it's going to be a little more implanted in the brain. Okay, that's what that was. You've already mentioned it. You've already got that information out there, but it's hard sometimes. Pagasa, what? You know, it's like, what are you talking about? Okay, this is what we're talking about here.
Yeah. Now, Girl Stipak makes a great point. He says, hell, Americans get pissed when they travel abroad and they can't get service in English. Yeah, so we're hypocrites. And then you turn that around because we don't travel. We travel less than any other developed country. So then when we have visitors to our country, we treat them like that. There's no type of hospitality. Let the people speak their language, man. You know, America's, man, we're so narrow-minded. We're only 4% of the population. Don't you think people from the other 96% are going to speak something other than English, man? Shut up.
And let me point out, it doesn't hurt to check that Weather Channel on your trip out. You know, find out what the forecast is. You know, when I flew out of the Philippines the last time on a Singapore Airlines, it was a brand new jet, and everybody's falling asleep, and I'm looking at on the panel on the back of the seat, and it's, you know, 550. Then it gets up to, but my 600, you know, I'm nudging he's still asleep. It doesn't matter. We got up to 700, and I got out of my chair and everybody's asleep. That's before they had the cockpits all hardened. And I walked up and I said, are we really doing 700 miles an hour? He said, yeah, we got 100-mile-an-hour tailwind from a typhoon.
Yeah, sometimes they use that to their advantage, especially on the return trip. Butch just says you start building on the other guest house here. No, I've got a lot going on, man. We got 4 parties to go to this week. It'll probably be the first of the year when I start that over here. And it's not going to be a guest house. It's going to be, we're just going to build a house over there. And we're going to put it on Airbnb. Isaiah Allen says, although the NextPat plays a part in luring the Filipino away, what part do you believe the men who return them to their country play? Do you feel they get too comfortable, forget they're not in the Philippines? Well, that's a good question because, see, you never know what you got until you bring her there. See, for a lot of women over here, America, not just women, but people, America's the promised land. And they may hold back their excitement while they're going through the process. But once their feet touch that ground over there, man, their hair catches on fire. And you don't know what you got until they get over there. And yeah, they become Americanized. The culture grabs a hold of them immediately. And a lot of them do forget they're from the Philippines. They never come back. They never come back. There's a lady over there, a friend of ours. She's the only child. Listen to this. She's the only child of her parents, and they're older. They were older when they had her. So they're in their late 60s, early 70s. She won't even go back. She'll send them a ballot band box or something like that. You know, yeah. So yeah, the culture, because you got to realize she's on that hamster wheel. She works at General Electric. She's married to she married into a religious family. And well, because her husband's a NextPat. And she just don't have the time. They got children. She can't break away because now she got to bring them all over here. He's not going to let her come over by herself. He said, damn, 4 parties, that's lit. Yeah, it's the holiday season. And birthdays are big over here. These are birthday parties. I was invited to the rock engineer and his son, he turned 4 years old, I think. He invited us yesterday, but I couldn't go because I was in Bacolod. And he was going to lay it out. I've got all kinds of stuff going on, man. The holidays is big over here. And you combine the birthday with the Christmas parties, man. Martin said, what language they speak in Cebu? Cebuana or Bisaya. They're similar.
You can see I'm working on another one.
No. They converse. Okay. They converse in Tagalog when they come from different islands and they don't speak the same dialect. That's the only time they're going to converse in Tagalog. In Cebu speaks Cebuano and also Bisaya. They don't speak Tagalog on a normal basis unless somebody comes from Manila or one of those places up in Luzon. Otherwise, no. That's the problem for us over here when we think everywhere we go, people are going to speak English. No, they're not. They'll speak to you when it's convenient, but 98% of the time, they're speaking their language. Yeah, that hamster wheel, man, is crazy. Oh, okay, Tammy Davis says, if you're in Angeles, the bikini contest, wow, it's at 2 p.m. today at Scoreboard. Free food and drink with 500 peso interest fee. Now, this is a big deal. And this is something that's been going on for a while. Thanks, Sammy, if you're in Angeles City. I've never been to Angeles City, but I want to go. I'm going to have Marilyn with me. We're going to Puerto Galera in December.
Now you have the NextPat. That's on the tail end of the situation is your NextPat. But don't you think it's a fair question when you meet a Filipina? If she's dated a foreigner before, let's just call him the pre-Pat.
The pre-pet. Well, that would be all of us then. But I know that there's some disadvantages to. I'm pretty sure I can sit here and think of some advantages of dealing with a Filipina that's dated a foreigner before, but not many, man. I wouldn't want to do it. I mean, I don't know. That's just me, man. Okay, he says score birds. Okay. Hey, but guys, I got to get off of here. It's Sunday. You know, we go to the store on Sunday. Thank you, Robert, man. I know you were busy. You showed up a little late.
Yeah, you know, Calvin, I had a friend that had a really bad time today with his dialysis, and his legs were all cramped up, and he needed a friend.
Real nitty-gritty.
Hey, thank y'all so much.
Boots on the ground.
Excuse me, for your
The real
super chat,
nitty-gritty.
super stickers, your thumbs up, all your support. Go check out my video, my new one today.
Real nitty-gritty.
Yeah, but
Boots on the ground.
I think he lives in Cavite. Geeky line.
Real nitty-gritty.
Hold on, guys.
Boots on the ground.
Hey, stay safe, everybody. I got to get off here. I'll see y'all next time. Thanks, Robert.
Yes. Thank you, Calvin.